There are analysts right now saying the U.S. housing market could drop 30, even 50%. And some are warning it could be worse than 2008. Now, I'm getting calls right here in Montana asking, should I wait? Is everything about to crash? Well, here's the problem. Most of what you're hearing is based on Phoenix, Austin, Florida, not Montana. So today I'm going to break down what the analysts are saying, what's actually true, and what it means right here in Montana. Well, because the answer might surprise you. But is it going to surprise our old pal Ted Turner? Is he going to take it in the shorts? Well, Ted is the fourth largest landowner in Montana, between 150 and 160,000 acres, including Flying D Ranch with 113,000 acres and Snowcrest and Red Rock. What's he looking at coming down the pike in the next year, along with other Montana homeowners, ranchers, and investors? So let's get into it. Now, I've been through a few cycles, oil and gas, real estate. I was in the Bakken boom and bust. And one thing I've learned is that markets don't crash the way people think they do. They crack first, and most people don't see it, all right? Let's start with some of the more bearish analysts and what they're saying, because we're hearing this everywhere. They say the housing market right now is basically frozen. Very low transaction volume, deals only happening at the higher end, and builders having to throw incentives and price cuts just to move inventory. Now, even though median prices don't look like they're dropping much, they argue that that's misleading. Why? Because the only homes selling are on the high end, inventory is rising in a lot of places, and demand is falling. So on paper, prices look stable, but underneath, things are softening. Well, this is where it gets attention. Some are predicting significant price drops, in some cases up to 50%, and even some of them, I said before, saying it's going to be worse than 2008, which was a bloodbath in my view. Now that gets people's attention. So if you want real on-the-ground insight into Montana, not just national headlines, then subscribe to our Montana Real Estate channel, brought to you by Cypher's Family Real Estate. I break down this based on what's actually happening here in Montana. Now, here's their reasoning, the bearish people. And to be fair, some of it's worth paying attention to. In terms of home prices, they've gotten way ahead of incomes. And at some point, that has to be reconciled. And in fact, it's really true in Montana. We have in our larger cities, like say Missoula, particularly Bozeman, we're not an affordable position, but there's a lot of Montana out there. Another is that we've got investor risk. So last time, investors helped stabilize the market. This time, the concern is that they might head for the exits instead. And there are a lot of analysts who are pointing to 2025 and 2026 as the inflection point, because we're going to see rising foreclosures, credit tightening, shadow inventory hitting the market, investors pulling back. And they argue the system itself has problems. Too much Wall Street involvement, credit quality concerns, and a weak rental demand in some markets. Some even call parts of the housing system a dumpster fire beneath the surface, and that's the bearish case. Now, let's bring this home, because Montana is not Phoenix. We don't have massive overbuilding, where we've got entire subdivisions sitting empty, or heavy investor concentration like some markets. What we do have is limited inventory, geographic constraints, lifestyle-driven demand, and people who move here because they want to stay. When someone buys in the Bitterroot Valley, for example, they're not always running a spreadsheet. They're buying away a life. And if you're thinking about buying or selling Montana in the next year, reach out. This is the kind of market where local knowledge matters more than ever. And we've been at this for 60 years as a family, and I've been at it almost 4 decades. So trust us on this. Now, with all of that said, things are changing here. We're seeing homes sitting longer, more price reductions, buyers becoming selective, deals falling apart over financing. Yeah. And just like nationally, we're seeing a split. Higher end properties are still moving, mid-range homes, a little more pressure. The market isn't crashing, but it's no longer forgiving. So let's answer the question directly. Is Montana heading for a crash? Well, in my opinion, no, it's not like 2008. But we could see flat prices, yes. Selective declines, yes. A tougher market, absolutely. The bigger risk here isn't a crash, it's a slow grind where prices stall, liquidity drops, and mistakes get expensive. So if you're trying to decide whether to buy, sell, or wait, don't guess. Reach out to us. Let's talk through your specific situation, and that's where the real decisions get made. Now, buyers, this is the most leverage you've had in years. You can negotiate again. And sellers, price it right from day one. Overpricing in this market will cost you time and money. And investors, be cautious. This is not ride the wave kind of a market anymore. And here's the bottom line. The national housing market may have real issues, but Montana plays by its own rules. The question isn't whether there's a crash coming, it's whether you understand the market you're actually in. So subscribe for weekly Montana video updates where we talk about lifestyle, culture, price points, neighborhoods, all things real estate in the state of Montana. I'm Craig Cyphers with Cyphers Family Real Estate here on the Montana Real Estate Channel. I'll see you on the next video.